Welcome, gamers and tech nerds. This is another episode of GameXPresents, the podcast. This is Ekis
And this is Stuff.
and Victor's to our right this time with still no mic, big no mic. And this is episode 6.
Sits. We can still count.
We can still count it with our hands. So it's still four more until we stop counting. So, how are things? Stuff?
Things are pretty good. It's been a quiet week. It's July 4th. Just passed. I mean, by the time you guys get this podcast, it'll probably be like
July 30th.
August 30th or something. But
So how was your 4th of July? Oh, we can.
it was all right. The thing that kind of bothered me was the lack of burgers.
No burgers.
I didn't get a burger.
That's un-American.
I did get a brat.
Okay.
So that kind of evens it out a little bit, but I didn't get a burger. But you know what? I could still get a burger tomorrow.
No, that's true, but still, you can't have a 4th of July without any burgers.
I agree, but what you gonna do?
Yeah.
There was tons of free food anyway, so I was still happy. Just not a burger.
Yeah, so, our 4th of July, we just doing housework.
Oh,
No fun.
that sounds worse than no burger.
Yeah, that's what our founding fathers wanted. Work.
Go to work.
Go to work every day.
Go do hard labor to celebrate this country.
Yeah. So we're finally getting down to this podcast things. No problem so far. So I think we're gonna be coming a lot better now.
Yeah, we promise
Yes.
that it'll be better
Better and
eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's start with a little bit of news. Not news anyway, but I guess Nintendo president, what's his name? Satoru Iwata-san. He came out and he announced some things about the Nintendo. I had completely forgotten this little adapter that they were gonna do. I forgot the name of it, but they were gonna have this little adapter that basically you put your finger on it and it's supposed to be able to read your heartbeat and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was supposed to be out already. Excuse me. But I guess they decided it's not as cool as they thought it was gonna be yet.
Oh yeah.
So it's not out yet.
But it's still coming out.
I guess it's still coming out. It's just not. They haven't really been able to figure. Basically, they don't know what the hell they're doing with it.
Well, was that supposed to be for the Wii U? Was it for the Wii?
I think it was supposed to be for the Wii, but who knows?
You're too late.
However, the thing that he did announce that I found interesting is he announced that Nintendo did intentionally not announce certain games at E3 because they were newer franchises that people don't really recognize.
Yeah.
And they felt that at E3 they kind of wanted to show off things to the people that, their fans, people that, they wanted to show off things that people recognize.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. One of the biggest complaints about the Wii U is the lack of games. I would think that even if it's brand new type of games, you would have shown them just to say, hey, look, we are doing things. We're not just making 4 new games.
Yeah, and I wonder if these were just like new franchise, like new ones, or like franchises that they had like a while ago, but they just never, like, I would think like Earthbound, like not a lot of people know about that game. So or are they completely like brand new ideas? Do you know that information?
No, he didn't really give any information. I'm wondering if it's like new good games or if it's just like a new Wii Sports or something.
Yeah, like I wonder like if it's like, because I know like,
because I'm just like, I think that if they were good games, they would have shown them.
yeah, like, I don't know, like yeah, because as you were saying, like that's the biggest complaint about the Wii. That's like the one of the things we talked in the first podcast, where it's just there are no games coming out for the Wii U, and we want it to succeed, but if they're not doing any games with it, because they're the ones who's gonna have to carry the Wii U. You know, there's not gonna be a lot of third party support.
Correct.
So everything that comes for the Wii U that's gonna be good is gonna be from Nintendo.
Correct. So again, I know they're saying, hey, there were some games we didn't show, but had they been good games, I honestly don't see them not showing them. So I think that, yeah, maybe there are some games they didn't show, but I'm going to call it and say that they were probably crap.
And did they mention when they're gonna show them?
No, they didn't.
They just like
it's Nintendo. They're like, oh, we just didn't show them.
Yes. Oh man, I like I don't feel sorry, but I just feel like I've been
Pissed off is how I feel.
like betrayed. Like, you know, you support this, you know, company because you want, you know, you love their games and you love like what they're about because they're about games, but then they do stuff like this where like they don't even give any support to their own products. Like, I don't want them to become like Sega.
Yeah, I've mentioned before that I definitely think that the reason the Wii systems tend to be less powerful is because they don't want to end up like Sega either, where, you know, Sega was putting a lot of money into making top of the line things. So yeah, I also don't want to see them end up like Sega, but at the same time, how much longer are we gonna be okay with buying a system just to play their games? You know.
Yeah, let's try to make a prediction. Like, how many years did the Wii last? That
Well,
was
it came
from
out in 2006. So
2006 to
yeah,
2012.
Yeah,
6 years. Did it come out 2006?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, you remember that?
I remember.
Okay, so
I did the line. I stood there in 0-degree weather with you.
Okay, so that's 6 years.
Then I got sick. Then it sucked.
Oh yeah.
5 hours in 0-degree weather. That was fun.
And so, do you think that the Wii U is gonna last 6 years, or are they gonna be like, okay, we should probably do something different right now?
I don't think. I'm not sure if it's gonna last 6 years like the Wii did. I don't think they're gonna give up on it that quickly, because look at the GameCube. The GameCube wasn't selling very well, and they stuck with it. But then they were releasing more games too. So
Yeah.
how long did the GameCube last?
GameCube came out 2001 to 2006, so that's 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, around 5 years. So yeah, well, that one last. I mean, the Wii had like a good, good start because it.
It had a really good start with all the new type of games that they were having, but I think Nintendo kind of got lazy with the Wii. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I still feel that Nintendo released more quality games in the GameCube days than it did and with the Wii.
Yeah, although like once the Wii started getting good, it was like near the end of its life. Like that's where, and that's with any system. Like, even with the PlayStation 2, like all the best graphics were at the end because they already knew
Correct.
how to use that system. But like, I don't know, this Wii U is like it started real bad. Like, it's still bad right now.
Real bad.
It's real bad. Like, there's no games. I don't even feel like playing it because if I play it, then I'll have no more something to look forward to.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that Nintendo know that they're in trouble, and I think that they will be making more games. But I keep saying like, oh, they have all these franchises. They should take care of those. They should take advantage of those. But in reality, I don't know how many people they have working over their own games. Like. They probably just have like Miyamoto in a little office.
He's doing everything like, the code.
The music. No, the music.
Man, like, what I was gonna say? I was gonna say something about. something.
Yeah, it was so important that God Himself decided, you know
Yeah.
what, you can't say that, so He took it away from you.
Oh man, and it was game changing. But yeah, we just want Nintendo to do better. But what are we gonna do?
What happened with stuff nephews that they were waiting for a Wii game? But
Yeah, today that Victor doesn't have a mic,
He wants to say
Victorino doesn't have a mic, he's actually speaking.
And okay, kind of like, do we have it there? Like, we're talking about like games with that are like with different age, categories. Like you want like you usually identify Nintendo with kiddie games, like
All right, let me explain where this is coming from. Recently, I convinced my sister to get my nephews a newer system. So she decided to go with an Xbox 360 because I was selling one. But I was trying to get her to go with a PlayStation 3, but one of my nephews really wanted a Halo 4. So because he really, really wanted Halo 4, then she got it in her mind that she needed to get a PS3, which, yeah, if you want to play Halo 4, you kind of... I mean, an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, if you want to play Halo 4, you kind of have to. However, I was looking at the selection of games on the Xbox 360, and I'm like, wow, like these are all either mature shooters or racing games or sports.
Yeah.
Like I can think of a lot of games that would be great for my nephews, which are in the teenage group.
Younger
on
teenage.
the PS3, I can think of games like Uncharted, the Infamous series, Infamous 1 and 2, the Final Fantasy you can get on
Yeah.
Xbox also. But like
Yeah, so it's just like
There's a lot of
bunch
RPGs
more
and
than
a
just
lot.
shooters.
correct. So I was just I guess I never noticed it. I was just very disappointed to see that there's such a small selection of games for teens on the 360.
Yeah, and this is because you're trying to be responsible
Correct.
guardians. You want to be a responsible uncle. I mean, like any parent would just be like, yeah, buy them a bunch of shooters, but sometimes you just want to, something appropriate, and then
Correct.
later on they can move up, slowly.
And in the end, we ended up having to get them like the Halo 4. Like at first, I really didn't want them to get Halo 4 because it was mature. But then I started reading the reasons why it is mature, and I'm like, okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, a lot of times it's mature just because it has one scene or something like that, or sometimes
Correct.
it's just blood. But like, who doesn't see blood?
Correct. So.
But it's alien blood.
So, at least I did take my sister to the Best Buy, and I showed her the games, and I showed her how to look for this stuff. Every game does have a rating, and every game will tell you why it has that rating in the back. And they will tell you whether it's just depiction of drugs or sex or just violence or just blood or,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And parents really need to start looking at these things because a lot of times they just buy it because the kid wants it. And just because the kid wants it, that's not a good reason to buy a game. You have to look at the content of the game.
Yeah, and a lot of them just don't want to take the time, or they're so busy that they're like, okay, I'll just get them whatever they want, and even though it has certain things, and then they go around saying things, and they're like, where did they get this from? I'm not saying that, I played video games, violent video games. I'm not out there killing or anything, but I also had, my parents saying like, educating me in certain stuff.
Correct.
Like GoldenEye.
Like playing Grand Theft Auto with my grandma, and there's like and don't trust those prostitutes. They have AIDS.
Yeah, that's why you had to shoot him.
She's like, shoot them. No,
No.
but, no, but yeah, just keep. Yeah, and like there's just like there's a lot less options I think for the Xbox. So PlayStation 3, I think,
So
just has more variety.
basically, if you're looking for a system for a teenage, my thing would be go with the PS3.
Yeah.
Although, then again, a lot of teenagers do love them shooting games
Yeah.
and whatever.
But if you do have a little child, the best way to go is Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
Nintendo.
And that is another thing that I was looking at. Victorino just mentioned that if you have a smaller child, then the safe way to go is with Nintendo. And that is true. I was looking at kid games on the systems, and the selection is even worse for those systems. You know, you have your stupid little Lego this, Lego Batman, Lego whatever. You know, they're probably going to come out with Lego Game of Thrones if they haven't already.
Lego Mass Effect. That's what I want to play.
But most of the games are just not for kids on the PS3 or the 360, which is another reason why I think Nintendo is going to keep doing fine, because most people know that for their younger kids, Nintendo is the way to go. And those kids that grow up with Nintendo, well, just like us, they will remember Nintendo when they grow up too. So.
And remember, in the world of Nintendo, nobody's killed. He's just been defeated.
Yeah, and I think but eventually I think that name recognition of Nintendo is gonna fade down. I don't know.
It probably will. I mean, growing up, everybody said, "Oh, I'm gonna go play Nintendo," when they were gonna go play video games.
Yeah, even
And then when the Nintendo 64 came out and the GameCube was out, that whole era, everybody was going around going like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play PlayStation." And then the Wii came out, and the whole "I'm gonna go play Nintendo" thing kind of came back. So it comes and goes.
Yeah, because I remember asking my mom for a Super Nintendo, and I told her, "Oh, Mom, for my birthday, I want a Super Nintendo," and she's like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll see." So when my birthday came around, I saw this big box. I was like, "Yeah, she got me a Super Nintendo."
Hell yeah, I love you, Mom.
I opened it up, and it was a Sega Genesis.
I hate you, Mom.
And I was like, "I did not ask for a Sega Genesis." She's like, "Pues I got you a Nintendo." That's a Nintendo. Look, you play video games. That's Nintendo. I'm like, "Mom, you do not understand, Mom."
It said SEGA.
So yeah, I still played it. So it's not like
It had good games,
yeah, it was.
You definitely had better boxes for those games.
Yeah, it was better boxes, but yeah, it's just funny how everybody turn off that Nintendo. I'm like, "This is Sega, Mom."
Let me. I just thought about this. Let me ask you this: do you think Nintendo is too dependent on Miyamoto?
I say yes, because he's like, no matter what, if you're doing bad, you just put Miyamoto or Miyamoto on the stage, and all the anger at Nintendo just goes away. He comes out, you're like, "Oh, it's Miyamoto."
It's Miyamoto.
You can't get mad at him.
Aw, he's getting older,
Man,
but he looks the same.
man, but yeah, he's kind of like that mascot. I guess he's like a mascot. He's when you think Nintendo, you think of Miyamoto.
I personally have a ton of respect for the man, a ton of admiration for the man. I think, he is the type of person I want to live my life as. Just he has lived his whole life just doing what he likes to do. He definitely has had the opportunity to be a lot more in Nintendo than what he is, but he wants to do games, and that's what he does. But he is getting older, so maybe the lack of games has something to do with the fact that Miyamoto is not the younger game developer that he used to be,
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of there's a time where a lot more people have to step up, and if he happens to pass away or whatever, it's gonna leave a big void if there's not somebody there prepared to like step up to the challenge.
Is there a video game developer that you would say is the next Miyamoto? Other than maybe the only one I can think of is probably Kojima.
Yeah, I was about to say Kojima. That's the only one that I can think of. But even him, he's like, I remember like 5 years ago, he was like, I'm not going to make any more Metal Gear Solid games. But then he's still making them.
Has he made anything other than Metal Gear Solid?
He's made like some robot mech games and
that people cared about.
Actually, yeah, people cared about it. It's not as popular, obviously, as Metal Gear, but like, I guess people don't care about it because they don't know a lot about it. But yeah, Metal Gear in itself is such a like an event whenever it does come out, and but I think Kojima still like I think he wants to do different games, and I think he will, and hopefully he does. Because he does have talent, so
he does have talent, and I'm not even a Metal Gear Solid fan. I've only played one of the games, but just playing that game and reading and hearing how people talk about him, I'm like, okay, this guy is definitely, to even know a developer's name, you cannot, you really have to stand out. And for somebody who doesn't really play your games to know your name, you have to stand out even more. So the man obviously does have talent, and it would be nice to see other things because the Metal Gears, they're kind of interesting, but they're just not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
so it would be nice to see if he could come up with something else.
And the good thing, like, I can guarantee you though, like, when you play the game, the cutscenes, like, did you like the cutscenes, like, especially?
I definitely enjoy playing it. It's just not one of those games that I would go back and replay, and it's a game that I play it once, I enjoy it, and that's it. I forget about it.
Yeah, and it's funny because like when I play the Metal Gear Solid games, like, when the cutscenes happen, like, I'm like engaged in the cutscenes. Then when it's time for me to play, I get pissed off. Like, I don't want to play. Just show more cutscenes.
It's pretty obvious that the guy wanted to make movies.
Yeah, and I would like him to make like movies, like, but like video game, like not live action, but like do them like how he's doing them now in the video games. Because I think
let me ask you this: if they were to make a Metal Gear game, but that it wasn't actually a game, it was just a movie that you would put in the system, and it would just basically play a who knows how long movie where you never had to really do anything. Would you care for that?
I mean, like, if it was something like an interactive game, like movie, like I haven't played Heavy Rain. So I don't know, like, if you can like do choices, but like
just like simple choices.
Yeah, like I would definitely get something like that, because like the whole world,
For me, that would be perfect because I've always been more of a video game observer than I'm perfectly happy watching people play because I'm not that good. So I kind of feel the same way when I'm playing a lot of video games with a lot of cutscenes. I'm like, okay, I can sit down and enjoy the cutscenes just fine. But as soon as I start playing, I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Now I have to deal with this shit again.
No, I have to. I'm gonna die. But yeah, like I would definitely get something like that. Just like do simple choices and just sit back. And that's what I thought the whole premise of like DVD was. Because I remember, like, back in the day when they talked about
they
DVDs.
used to advertise that like
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, it's like you could interact with the movie.
Not once have I seen a movie that's interactive.
Like, I want somebody start making a movie like that. Like, just like where you could get different choices.
From what I've heard, it kind of was a little bit popular with porn. From what I've heard.
Do you want POV? Or do you want
to order the pizza or not?
Yeah, and that would be so cool. Like with a lot of like movies, you know, just give us choice, like interactive, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that idea ever went to. I thought it was a good idea. Like,
I guess directors are like, oh, that's too much work because we have to film like 500 different scenes of the different options. I don't know.
oh, J.J. Abrams just simply cut down on the amount of lens flare, and that should allow you to make different options.
Well, that would be cool. Like somebody, if maybe somebody has a Kickstarter for that. If somebody has a movie like that, like a something interesting, I would donate towards that movie. So if anybody
$10.
knows about that, I'll give them $20 maximum. But yeah, that's a good idea, and I'm surprised not a lot of people. I guess video games are
Probably
doing that.
enough to almost make one of the selections in the menu.
I guess I guess like Heavy Rain does it, so that's as close as we're gonna get to it. Or I want something like Mass Effect where you can choose different dialogues and stuff.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I'll
somebody
be
do
down
it.
for that. Just do it and let us know
Yep,
when we can play it
we'll give you $10.
each. Well, you know, X and I, Victorino's always broke.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job.
He works.
Doesn't have a job.
Works, but not.
He goes to work.
Yeah, and so
He
what
goes
else
to work because he doesn't have an option.
he wakes up to work.
Let's see, what else do we have here on the news of the week? It was a very slow week for video games, so we really don't have
The
much.
guy's still on the run.
Oh, yeah, the guy,
Yeah, they okay. Off of tech,
what's that guy's name?
Snowden.
Snowden. Yes.
Okay, so
Eddie.
So did you hear that they made the Bolivian president, like they searched, like they made him present his like identification and everything, and you're not supposed to be doing that to presidents, especially. I just find that's like so hilariously stupid, but that's just me.
Yeah, that whole situation for me is weird. Like the fact that we are publicly going after this guy because of the secrets that he may still have. It doesn't, do people not wonder, like, okay, what other secrets are out there? That would be bothering me more than...
And the fact that it doesn't that make the government seem more suspicious than ever when they're like, shit, we got to get this guy before he says something else. Like, come on, like...
I'll be like, okay, what else is there, Mr. President? Like,
yeah, like, what else you got to hide? Yeah, like... Man, that's just stupid. Like, he did not say a secret that we didn't know already was going on. He just made it.
He just
mainstream.
confirmed it.
Yeah, so it's not like, don't give him shit.
It's like, we must get him before he tells everyone we invented AIDS or something.
I know, right? That's probably the
Or
other
we've
secret.
been experimenting on children
Yeah.
in order to access another
Another
universe, which is the same, but we're breaking it because of Peter. Anyway, so back to video games. No, the thing I want to mention real quick is how the Xbox One, the Kinect, is going to be able to read QR codes. Okay. So that's kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah.
Like instead of having to type a long code for your games, you will be able to just present the code to your Kinect, and it'll be able to read them. I wonder, like, what other things you'll be able to do like that, Like, I was just thinking, like, what other applications, like, if I could make applications that were able to read these codes, I'm like, what else would I make?
I guess, like, if they're looking for, if the government's looking for criminals, and there's a guy they're looking for playing the Kinect, it scans their face.
Hey, supposedly it's so good that it's gonna be able to detect your heartbeat. So
I remember, like, a while ago, there was always this thing where the cameras would not recognize black people.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder
the racist HP camera.
I wonder if this is going to be able to have the same problem, or Just imagine like how bad it would be.
That's probably the last thing Nintendo needs.
I mean, Xbox.
I mean, Xbox, Microsoft. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like, what else?
We drank a lot of coffee before we started this podcast and ate a lot of sugar. You would think I would be fully awake by now.
Yeah, but we're not. Oh, we are? Are we? Yeah, we're awake.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah. So
All right. So that last thing sucked. I apologize for bringing something
no,
about
but
the Kinect.
it is interesting. Like if you like any kind of like things you can scan. How about like
I'll be scanning like all my food items, like
yeah, like maybe like that. Like if you
like-
want to check something, you scan like milk.
Yeah,
and you can
you know, like-
have it delivered.
or just to you scan your can of soup and it takes you to a website with reviews and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
there,
like
there could be all kinds of things.
yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, you know what we? I don't know if it kind of like we're talking about like scanning, where maybe like you can put like a picture of somebody in front of the camera, and then like the camera like searches like a database to see if that person has like a Facebook. Like let's say you just want to, I don't know.
that could probably be possible. I'm not sure how legal it would be. It would probably
I mean, if you
It'll be
pay
a-
for that service, maybe.
it'll be like a stalker's wet dream or something.
Hey,
you know.
well, we'll probably get into it, a whole privacy thing, but let's see. And video games, Lenore.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about LA Noir?
Okay, this is something that I happen to think. Once I was playing LA Noir a couple days ago, and it got me thinking of like just games that were real good, but for some reason, you know, they didn't do that well, or their studio shut down, and that there's gonna be no other games like of the same, you know, title. So I was just basically saying, like, are there any? Did you ever encounter that where you play a game that you really enjoyed, but for some reason, like, it didn't do good, so there was never a sequel?
I know I have. I can't think of a specific one right now, but
Yeah, because
it happens a lot.
and then that gets me upset, like, because it's like a real good game, but for some, like, for example, LA Noir was just too expensive to make from what the research I've done, which was like 5 minutes. And so it was like it had like good technology, like face, you know, movements to really capture the face and everything. And it just, you know, it was so expensive to make that the studio went out of business for some reason.
But see, it doesn't have to be that expensive. Like, some of those things are kind of fun, but they're not necessary for the game. Yeah.
Well, for that and for that particular game, it was necessary because you were like a detective. So depending on the facials of the person you're interviewing, you could tell if they were lying or if they were saying the
Okay.
truth. So that was
So
good.
I would have sucked because I'm not good at that.
So for that game, like that technology was actually necessary.
I would have been like, she's pretty, she's telling the truth.
and it just like gives me a set. Like I really want to play another LA Noir type game, and from what I heard, the person who wrote the story or has the technology for that is working on another game. I forgot what the name of the game was called, but I'm looking forward for it. So that's just my little rant I had.
All
That I
right.
hate when good studios go out of business because of something.
Doing over budget.
Because of no money.
Yeah,
As if that was a good enough reason
because
to.
not enough people bought the game.
Damn pirates. No, I'm kidding.
All right, so
All right, so
that last story sucked.
before we start heading out, there was a little thing I wanted to talk about, and it was 10 things that we hate people doing on Facebook.
10 things.
Do we want to do this?
Yeah, let's do this.
We all like our Facebook sometimes, but there's certain things that people just need to stop doing. So we made a list. This is our personal list. Not saying this is an official list of don't do's or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
not rules or anything. It's just our thinking that people need to stop doing this.
And it's not in any particular order.
Correct. It's not in any order because we were too lazy. We just put down the first 10 things that we thought about. So the first one is what we're going to call likes begging.
Likes begging. Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
And what we mean with likes begging, it's all these comments that are like, oh, like this image for so this will happen. Like this image or this person's gonna die. Or I got one once where it was like, oh, like this image or your mom will die. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Or like they say like this comment and God will do something for you. Like why would God, listen to you? Like why would God care about you having a liking on Facebook? Like,
correct. Or they show these horrible images of deformed kids or whatever, and they're like, oh, like this for research.
yeah,
Like, come on.
Is there an underground economy that we don't know about in likes? Maybe like for every like somebody gets $1. I don't know. Like it says like
For every like, you get a penny. Yeah, I honestly don't know what they get out of likes. It's not like a YouTube video where you get compensation.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any compensation on Facebook that I'm missing out on. If somebody out there knows why these people need those likes so badly, let me know, because I just don't know.
Yeah, that's maybe. Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
The second thing we came up with, we actually kind of said this jokingly, but then it kind of is true at the same time. And it's horrible quality pictures. So, I do a lot of photography, so maybe I'm a little bit more critical than others, but I see so many pictures taken in low lighting where the picture is grainy as hell. You can hardly tell anything about the picture, and people are just posting it. And I'm like, why are you posting this crap? Like, it looks horrible. It doesn't make you look good. It just bugs me. But not only that, there's those tiny pictures
Yeah,
also.
the postage stamps.
where the little thumbnail, it's bigger than the actual picture. I'm like, it's
Like,
just
what's
annoying.
the point of that? Like, you can't see it. Like, I get like a lot of times you see it in like bots, stupid bots.
I'm not saying that people need to go get like professionally quality pictures, but
Your camera phone
like
does
turn
it.
on the light at least.
Yeah, like don't show me crap.
Use that flash.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
think they're artsy by doing that.
Maybe. I don't know, but if you're gonna go into the bathroom to take a picture of yourself in the mirror,
Clean the mirror.
clean the mirror.
Yeah.
Victorino said, clean the mirror.
Or flush that toilet because you don't see that shit in there.
Literally. Turn on the light. That helps a lot. All right. Number 3, prayers. This one just annoys the crap out of me. People who go on Facebook and they have to type down their prayer. Like, oh, Lord, help me with this, blah, 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 because of that, blah, blah. I can understand the feeling of wanting to ask God for help. But why are you posting it on Facebook? Just ask God for help. You don't have to put it on Facebook. Like, if you want people to pray for you, tell them, hey, pray for me.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go put your prayer on Facebook. It's not like God wakes up every morning and he's like, hey, let me check out Stuff's Facebook messages to see if he has any prayers for me.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comment there. All right.
I'll pray for you.
We're praying for the podcast. Number 4, posting your illegal activities.
I mean, this is just common sense. Like, really, like, the police have Facebooks out there, and like, if they catch you doing something, the first thing they do is check your Facebook, and if you have more evidence there, they use it against you.
And this obviously doesn't just go on Facebook. it happened. I think it probably happens more on YouTube, where a lot of people like do really stupid things. They
Yeah.
record themselves doing it, and
They
then they
record
upload
themselves
it.
like kicking some guy in the head, and when they're down already, like that's battery right there.
Street racing.
And then they have the nerve to say, "Man, who snitched on me? Like you did, you idiot."
Then they put that same video on Facebook, and they're like, "Hey, like this video if you think this person was stupid,
Yeah. Oh man.
or if you think the other person deserved it."
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, come on, like I guess people get off on that, but that's just stupid to me.
All right, number 5.
Next, yeah.
Profile pictures that are not you.
I mean, this is self-explanatory. Like to put a picture of your profile, it should be you, because that's who you are. If you want to put like pictures of something else as your cover, that's cool. You can have, but like usually people want to see who that is. Like sometimes people put like pictures of their shoes. I'm like,
Yeah, it's the profile picture is really supposed to be you. In certain programs, it doesn't show your name; it just shows your profile picture. So it's nice to be able to look at the profile picture and be like, okay, that's the person. Also, with a lot of phones for contact pictures, you can link your Facebook to your phone so that it downloads your profile picture as your contact picture. So, it's just nice to have your actual picture there. Not your kids, not your parents, not anybody else, you.
yeah.
So, I just find it very annoying.
It's an annoyance.
All right, this one's probably the one that annoys me the most. It's forced statuses or oversharing. Now, what I mean with this is, it seems like a lot of people go looking for stuff that they can post. Like they'll go to, I know for a fact that there's websites that will give people like motivational statuses that they can post each day or whatever. I'm like, if you have to go looking for it, don't. I mean, just don't post anything. You don't have to post something every day.
Yeah, and it like sometimes they post something not even once a day. It's like every 2 minutes they're posting something because they're watching either like buying videos or they're watching a bunch of YouTube videos and they're just sharing whatever they find. I'm like, come on.
Those annoy the crap out of me when you wake up in the morning and there's like 20 like mana videos or whatever. Somebody got bored at night and they started looking for videos on YouTube and they decided to share every single video with everyone.
Or someone watched 5 GameXPresents podcasts in a hospital.
Nobody watches 5 GameXPresents podcasts.
But if you want to overshare our podcast, that's totally fine with us.
No, F that.
It's only 5 videos.
But there's also all the motivational posters that people put. Like, okay, I don't have a problem if you go to a website and you see a poster or a video that you find is interesting, that you find it's fun, that you find it's nice, and you want to share it. That's fine. But a lot of people, they just seem to go looking for it. Like it's their mission in life
Is to
to find something that they can post.
Yeah, they need
It's
to.
like if you don't have anything to post, that's fine. Just go on with your day. Don't go looking for something. All right, number 7, grammar.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
the grammar. That's
On Twitter, it's understandable because you only have 140 characters, I believe, that you can use. So to get your message across, you tend to
Do
make
shortcuts.
you do shortcuts. Use numbers to say like the number 2 to say 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But Facebook and most other social medias like Google Plus, you don't need to do that. They give you plenty of space to write your complete message.
Yeah.
Just sit down and write it. You don't have to make it short. You don't have to you can just make a full, complete sentence. You don't have to make it so difficult.
Yeah, because there's a place for it, kind of like you mentioned on Twitter. Obviously, you would have to do that, but yeah, like if there's no need for it, just talk in complete sentence so we can understand what you're trying to say.
Don't be saying, I need some water, yo.
We bees here.
If everyone have English class, some people actually still do that.
Yeah, and then they
And I'm not saying, be a grammar Nazi or anything like that, but Jesus, just...
like if you misspell a word, that's fine, but like just try to make a
full sentence.
And I kind of get it. Like sometimes you'll type something on your phone, like you just want to write it real fast and press enter, or before you get to like check over and it sounds real bad. Like I can understand those moments, but it doesn't have to be every single time.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, number 8. Excuse me. Expecting privacy.
Yeah. Duh. I can't believe a lot of people expect privacy.
I always say, if you really want something to be private, don't put it online anywhere. Yeah, there's privacy settings or whatever, but every account could be hacked. So honestly, if there's things that you want to keep secret, just don't post them.
Yeah,
If you're that paranoid about people accessing your information, just don't put it out there.
Yeah, don't put pictures of you and your mistress on Facebook.
Correct.
And then expect your wife not to find out about it, even though she's your friend.
Are you talking from experience?
I'm just saying it's all.
All right, well, whatever.
Damn.
All right, another really annoying one. Not verifying statuses before sharing.
Yeah, this is I don't even know where to start.
I can tell you how many stories I read on Facebook where people just share the story and what they shared. A lot of times it's something like trying to warn people. Like usually the one you see a lot is like, oh, Facebook changed this, their privacy settings are now this, and everything you put is out for everyone to see. Usually this is not the case. So people really need to verify things before they go telling everyone about it.
Yeah, like, and a lot of things is like, it's so stupid because it's like, kind of you're saying Facebook, you have to, everybody post this on your status so that Facebook doesn't take your pictures or use your pictures for, commercial usage or whatever. Like, you signed an agreement at the very beginning. What makes you think that that's going to work?
Yeah, that probably nobody read.
And I know nobody probably read the Facebook agreement. They just like agree and continue.
I don't read that shit, but anyway.
I know, but like you would expect that it says there that
Correct.
one of the first things says you have no privacy.
Basically, they should just say that you have no privacy or your stuff is ours.
Yeah. And you're on Facebook.
But the other day, I saw a story on Facebook about how if you get stopped by a cop and you're not really sure this is a real cop, you should dial this number, not 911. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. So I looked up the information on the story, and it's true. The number is a real number in England. It's basically England's 911. So, here we are in America telling people, oh, don't dial 911, dial this other number. And luckily, in America, in most states, they will forward your calls to 911 if you dial this number. But that's not the way it should be. In America, if you're not, if you have an emergency or something like that, you dial 911. It's supposed to be simple. Don't try to make it more difficult, and don't put out stories on your Facebook that it's just going to confuse people and possibly cause some serious damage.
And a lot of times people spread you also spread rumors. Like, for example, there was one story where they had the picture of this guy, and they're basically saying that this guy was a rapist or something like that. But it turned out that it was just somebody who started a rumor and use that guy's pictures because they were having
Correct.
problems with them. So they just like spread false rumors about this guy, and a lot of people are saying this guy's a rapist. So like, that's being spread, and people are like buying into it without researching like if it's true or not.
Correct. They just assume that everything, if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, and you're ruining people's lives by doing that.
There's a lot of BS out there.
Yeah, it's the internet. Half of that, more than half, is BS.
If it's not on Wikipedia, it could be fake. That was a joke, by the way. All right, number 10. Tagging pictures of you when it's not really you there. This happens a lot when people are like organizing events and they just tag you and 100 other people
To a flyer.
or they just want you to see the picture, so they tag you in it. I hate that.
Yeah, because kind of like how we're talking about, like if there's like a security issue, and sometimes Facebook has like random pictures that pop up, and you have to identify who's that in the picture. If it shows a picture of the flyer, who is it?
There's no way for you to know which one of your friends it's referring to.
So you're like, oh, damn.
Not only that, but you get tagged in a picture with like 30 other people, and then 30 other people start commenting on the picture, and you keep getting all these notifications, and it just gets really annoying. And they have gotten better with that. Like you can turn off certain notifications, but still, it's like personally, I hate it. It's like, don't tag me in pictures.
I mean, do you think
unless it's me?
Do you think it should be like, if somebody does tag you, you should get a notification saying this person is trying to tag you, do you accept or not?
I definitely think that should be there. Because what if somebody's tagging me with my mistress? No, I don't have a mistress or a wife. But
hey, you having a mistress is not bad right now. It's not
but like I've always found it kind of weird that people can just tag you.
Yeah,
Like
What
if I don't want to prove that I was over there or whatever?
Or when you get what's it called, checked into somewhere.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
somebody
another
checks
one.
you in, like, oh, we're at the White Castle or something, and you're like, I didn't want to get tagged. I mean, I didn't want to
Then
get
your
checked
wife
in.
is like, you were at White Castle and you didn't bring me any?
No, and they call you like, where are you? Somewhere else. And like, well, then why does it say you were at White Castle? You get caught in the lie, you see? That's how relationships get messed up.
Yeah,
Not that I
so
know anything, but
I definitely think that the whole tagging thing is weird. I agree. You should get notifications asking whether it's cool or not.
yeah,
And maybe there is a setting
yeah, we should probably
that
check.
we don't know about. And if somebody knows, let us know. Because I've looked at the settings in Facebook and they confuse the crap out of me.
Yeah, it is confusing. Sometimes you want to do something, but you don't know where to go because you're like, I knew I saw it once.
All right.
And a bonus? Is there a bonus?
We did have a bonus one, and it is wrong use of social media. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of times we have a bunch of different social media sites out there. Like, we use Facebook, Google Plus, Instagram,
Twitter, MySpace.
and who? You're what? And sometimes we want to share something, and we just share it to all of them. And you can't just share to all of them. You have to think about which one. You have to think about your content and which one is appropriate. And this comes from the fact that I hate people posting certain things on Instagram. To me, Instagram is a picture service. Well, now it's a picture and video service. But it's supposed to be pictures that you took.
At that place, at that moment.
Correct. And not motivational posters or funny posters or stuff like that, or collages or anything like that. It should just be a picture that you took instantly and put it on there.
And that's what it should be. because it's called Instagram.
Correct. On Facebook, it's more about being with friends. So, I could definitely see more personal stuff on Facebook than I would put on Twitter, for example, because Twitter, it's completely open.
Yeah, that's
So, most people probably don't care about what I had for lunch, on Facebook, I probably want to brag to my friends, but do I really have to brag to the whole community on Twitter? Probably not,
Yeah, and it's not like an annoyance per se, but sometimes, like, when you're talking about friends, like in Facebook, a lot of people have a lot more friends than they really do. They just like add anybody. I mean, to me, I don't really
I've been
care.
getting better with that, though. No, I'm kidding.
No, I don't really care if you have. I mean, like personally, like it depends. Like if I want to be Facebook with just my close personal friends, or sometimes you just want to make new friends. I don't know, but that's not part of the list. That's just a little thing of what do you think?
It's
you,
again, just
right
think,
now posting. I'm pointing at the mic, pointing at you. What do you think? Should you just add any friends or for Facebook? Is that what Facebook's for? Do you think?
No, see, I've always seen Facebook as a much more personal thing. It's between me and my friends.
That's why you have several accounts.
Correct.
One is for my close homies. The other one's for anybody. Networking. I mean, because it is a networking, is it?
It is a network, a social network. But to me, it's about networking with my friends and friends and family. I see, like, if I want to make new friends and stuff, I definitely see things like Twitter and Google Plus being more of that. Especially Google Plus, to me, it's much more about sharing with the world and getting to know other people, while Facebook is more about keeping in touch with people that I already know.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's the way I look at it, anyway.
Yeah. All right. So
All right. We're out of time here, man.
yeah, we went way over the time.
We thought it was gonna be a 10-minute podcast.
Yeah.
We can bullshit more than
I mean, we talked about some things that we okay. Anyway.
No, it wasn't bullshit. We
Yeah,
spoke about actual
It was all thought out. Every
Yeah.
single word.
everything. I'll show you the script if you want to. No, I won't, because we don't have a script.
Yeah.
We're not that professional
All right, but
or unoriginal.
are we? No, we're original.
No, I'm saying we're not that unoriginal,
Oh,
where
okay.
we would just, we trust ourselves to come and talk.
And this is only the 6th episode. We're gonna get better. Stick with us.
And we sound a lot better than we did on the first one.
Yeah, we're definitely improving our craft here.
I mean, Victorino sounds like shit now, but
yeah, because he doesn't have a mic, but we'll get one with 3 mics sometime.
eventually.
Eventually.
All right. I think we are done with this one, though.
Yeah, we're done with this one, and we'll see if there's any better news, video game news for next time.
Hopefully, because I think Victorino has something to mention.
He wants us to shout out one of our viewers.
Oh, who's that?
We want to shout out Supreme.
Supreme?
Supreme.
It's making me hungry, though.
So we a shout out to Supreme. He really enjoys our podcast. We thank you a lot, and keep listening. And
Keep
maybe one day
listening.
you can join us in the round table.
The round table of 3. Sadly, there's a wall on the 4th chair, but we can fix that.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will. Anyway. Anything else anybody wants to mention? Because I'm out.
I'm out. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next.
Episode 7.
Episode 7.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
It's gonna be so good. I can't wait.
All right.
All right. This is Stuff.
And this Ekis and Victorino over there.
And you all keep having fun.
All right. Good night.
Bye.